A very difficult take, a very difficult push for Orbital. But if you have a look at the rounds, it's been kind of back and forth with Powerhouse winning most of those back and forths. And with the pistol here, you can expect 7-4, and then Orbital really trying their best in that last round of the first half.
It was still massive. Zapper getting the first pick is exactly what you need in a round. The only problem that they face is that they kind of just rushed onto the point. If Run It Back was able to get at least one kill, it would have been great. But they rushed onto the point, and they were not ready for Powerhouse's defense. They're just so incredibly solid. Now, Flare inside of B Long. Pre-fired inside of Long itself. But it's going to be Poison that takes down Scherze. And another rush that's coming through. This round's going super fast, Simo. Cypher does get one.
One of those things that you expect in a pistol. No risk. And you kind of just push in, hope for a high reward. You know, low risk, high reward is kind of the best possible route that you could want to take, whether it's with stocks, whether it's with bonds, whatever you want to do. But unfortunately, it does not go the way of Orbital, and now they will have the weaponry to play. We are seeing Vandals across the board, probably some utility, heavy armor. They're looking to play, and this will be the last opportunity before the half swaps, where Orbital will be on defense, and we'll see if they're able to stave off Powerhouse, who have been quite handy on the attack, especially from what we saw in day number 2.
I did get kind of confused because I didn't know it was a save round. I was like, why did they just run in with pistols? But I guess there's only really one result for that. Like you said, this is the final round before the switch itself. An operator that's coming through here from Neuro had to try and guess if he can get any sort of shot with the curveball inside of U-Haul. Scherze wins that 1v1.
And now that'll open things up a little bit more here. Jersey waiting in the wings of the showers for a great orbital strike to stop that plant onto the truck.
Whoa.
And now they'll call that connector pushover, but Scherze stays. He will be punished for staying. Flare will take him down. Poison gonna use Paranoia. He's got now the Vandal as well. 2 weapons to play, getting a little feisty. The spray down. Zapper gets punished. It's a quick trade from Cypro. Neuro now waiting in the wings, but he gets blinded away as the res now bringing Zapper back up to par. And now a 4v3. It's looking good here for Orbital as they look to plant that spike.
They need to, right after the orbital strike goes through, it's all up to Flare. You do, oh, okay, there you go. Now it's a 4v4 situation, a little bit better, if you ask me. Powerhouse completely out-rotated. They thought it was going to be an A push, so they stayed on A. I guess they didn't exactly hear the portal go through. But now the final rotation does come out. Can Powerhouse take it is the big question that you ask. And it's all up to the picks. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Curveball does come out, but Cypro now with the triple kill inside of Hookah. It's going to be one more Jersey inside of Long. Tries to jiggle peek, and he's not able to land the shots either. Neuro ends up trying to get 2, but he only gets 1, healing himself now. Has to get onto the site. Tries to wall it off, and he can't do it. Zapper finishes off the round.
You know, I should have been a betting man and bet 7-5 to be the first half, because that was the first half on Haven yesterday. And now moving into the second, this is where Powerhouse really turned on the Jets. I think Orbital were only able to get anywhere between 1 to 3 rounds, finishing off at a possible 13-8, which is kind of sad, in my opinion. It's sad. You never, you don't want to have a team win by that much of a lead. A 5-round lead is pretty considerable. I think it was 5 straight before Orbital were able to put one on the board, and that just hurts. That really hurts. So I'm expecting to see hopefully a different approach here this time around, especially on a different map like this. Tighten up that defense. They've got 2 anchors, Sage and Cypher on B, the rest on A. Let's see how they work this time around, moving into this first round.
It's going to be massive here. The slow push that's coming through here inside of A short is massive. Can they find any of the picks that they need? Scherze does find one. He cannot transfer the sprays correctly, but Cypro definitely does. It's now a 2-for-2 at the end of that little trade. Logan able to get onto the site. The spike itself as well. Can they plant it is the big question here. Cypro might need to go aggressive, but he's waiting for the rest of the members. Little Rain does get one. That's huge.
Yeah, he gets that heal as well. Going to put him back up to full. Cypro, it's kind of in an interesting position in U-Haul. Poison Flames is going to be the one that gets taken down. All up to the last final member, Neuro, on the stage. They're just going to attack at him like a pack of wild hyenas. And Kong going to lead that charge with a quick chomp onto Neuro, winning that first round of the second half. That's got to feel good. You know, that wasn't what happened last time. And it's a great start And that momentum could lead to the dub ski here. And that's what they want, ultimately. They want to top the group or at least come in second. And Powerhouse, they're already in a great position considering someone in their group, I forget what team, is 0-3, right? I think it's first Gen GG. If they continue being at least in that first part, then both of these teams are quite happy. But at the end of the day, Orbital, they want to be safe rather than sorry. So they're going to keep up that aggression in the soft buy here. They're looking to tango with Powerhouse in this second round.
Yeah, if they can end up winning one more round for themselves, it could be huge, of course. Taking 2 rounds in a row is usually what we see out of this rush. Concon does have the Spectre for himself, and it's looking like it might be a hookah rush here, Simo. There's one. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Poison Flames inside of the container. That's not what you expected. Shursei now with 2. Finally stepping up for his squad. Needing to find the last 2 members. He's not able to land the shots. He's on 2 HP as well. Hot Hands goes out towards the right-hand side. Cypro is there to stop the rush itself. Flares almost clutched it for his team, but Cypro finishes off the round.
That was close. And, you know, although they win the round, they don't win when it comes to economy. Of course, Cypro here finds himself somehow a Phantom. Not sure how that got picked up. I think that was the second round buy. But now the rest of the team, they won't really have the economy to tango with the side of Powerhouse. As you can see, they're locked and loaded. Utility armor, the works. They got themselves the most expensive car wash at the gas station. But for the side of Orbital, they're unfortunately not able to get the deluxe clean. They're only going to go for the basic clean, as we are seeing Bulldogs and Spectres be a part of their ensemble.
Beautiful analogy, Sima. Beautiful. Continuing on here. The Owl Drone does go out just to spot out any sort of members that are on the site. Of course, the one predicted right at the back of the site. Something that's too crazy, nothing that's too not predictable. Little Rain over on the left-hand side. They might want to try and look for anything, but he was completely blind there on that one. That's massive. Little Rain now going aggressive, tries to transfer any sort of kills that he can find, but he's not able to. Already, Cypro back at the site, needs to land his shots, but he now immediately turns his attention into Hookah, does blind it on out, but he's on the back of the site, low HP.
Yeah, it's a 2v3 now. They still want to get this spike planted. Poison going to make that a 1v3 Cypro. Can he make the hero play? I've seen him do this before plenty of times, but the odds are definitely not in his favor, as that portal call will now put that spike positioned over towards A and getting an alt orb to boot. Now, something that we usually expect is, especially when the gun advantage is not really in the favor of the team, this is a round that Powerhouse should have won. Orbital were able to at least make a dent, take down a couple of members. If I'm in the position of Cypro here, I feel like this round's already lost. I pick up a weapon and I save it. At this point, can you clutch out a 1v3? The odds of that are slim when you have 24 HP and no armor and no flashes available either. That's going to be kind of the big difference maker here, and that's why I think we're seeing he's making his way back to the attacker spawn in order to save the weapon.
Even a lot of players in Valorant think that when you're in a 1v3 situation that you're going to have to try and clutch up the round. But you got to kind of change that mentality a little bit, right? If, you know, you're on low HP, if the situation isn't in your favor, right? The spike itself is already across the map. Just try and save the Vandal for yourself. Save a little bit of credits. Maybe even buy one of your teammates a Vandal so that it helps you even out. It even helps you out a little bit more going into the next round. So definitely a really nice save coming in from Cypher.
Okay, I know this is a little bit irrelevant, but I just found out that Twitch added agent emotes to the act. Like, they added a Phoenix emote and they added a Jet emote. Why am I finding out about this now? That is so smart. Sorry, back to the game. A round one here for the side of Powerhouse. Now moving on to the second. Orbital, they still only have pennies and dimes. It's going to take another round for them to really come back into the full swing of things. And for the side of Powerhouse, their economy is great. They're still looking, they're still feeling good, and you're seeing that aggressiveness from Orbital because they don't really have a lot to lose, and it'll be Powerhouse that can easily punish that. Zapper here is going to try to spray him down with the Frenzy, but that spray will not last long as Poison will take him down.
Yeah, kind of a weird defense coming through. Of course, it is a save round, so you can't exactly blame them for that. The flank does have to come through for the rest of the members of Orbital, but yeah, one of them gets taken down. I was gonna say if they can at least get one, then it's definitely worth, but nothing that you can do if you're Little Rain. He's got a shorty, man. I don't know what you can do with it.
I mean, nobody died from the side of Powerhouse, so At this
Yeah.
point, you fight for exit frags. You fight for exit frags. Logan here going to try to do that. Kind of due diligence and make sure that nobody's sneaking around from the A short angle. The rest of the team going to be spread out a little bit more around the map, closer to the portal, so they can hop through connector and make it their way to safety when the spike blows up. And now they're making sure that they are not surprised by defender spawn. Little Rain, oh, barely survives. It gets sprayed down through the clay bricks. He will find himself on the, wow. So lucky.
Milk
So
Cam.
lucky. Milk Cam. I have a feeling that our observer Yeti is just trying to constantly find weird places to start the round in. And once we move on to Ascent, I cannot wait for the amount. There's like just a gelato place. There's like an ice cream parlor. There's a pizza place. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I still need to play Ascent, honestly, but we still look at this match. We're still playing on buy. We're not on Ascent. Curveball does come out. My goodness, it's a 1-for-1. Con, Little Rain, both trading out their, or one trading out the life. My bad. Flare maybe wants to go for the peak. Knows that one is near the portal and one is over on B, so they know that statement is true. Omen now actually scouting over on A. Flare does end up picking up one for himself.
Yeah, that'll open things up here a little bit. But again, Orbital don't really have the weaponry to play, so if they're able to come out on top here somehow, some way, that'll kind of be the be-all, end-all that they can feel happy about. Jersey finding a great open frag, moving on to the side. Scherze, actually, they do have the weaponry. This is the second round that they lost. The previous round was the second round they lost in a row. Now a 2v2. Things have started to dwindle down to the last 40 seconds here. Scherze going to be the first responder. Unfortunately, that does not win him the gun duel. And now 1v2. Zapper going to be the one that is supposed to win, but does not. As Flare will take him down and move up to a 10-7 lead here. Powerhouse, they are just continuing their business as usual.
And this is the same scoreline that we ended up seeing kind of yesterday, where Flare was on top, Logan just right below, Poison Flames right in the middle. I think Neuro is doing a little bit better today, which is obviously great. Now still playing the Sage from yesterday. Kind of had a little bit of a warm-up game for sure, but Powerhouse, they're looking super, super solid here. Flares, Logan, Powerhouse, or Poison, my bad, all kind of smurfing on their opponents for sure.
They're doing a great job. And I don't really feel like they're disrespecting Orbital even whatsoever. I still feel like it's a competitive match, but Powerhouse just feel like, you know, Powerhouse, there's not much you can do to really stop them from instigating these fights, and their angles are great, their executes are great, and it's on the backs of players like Flare and Poison who are just always ready to take it to the action. We're already seeing that action start to execute here on towards B, and it's kind of four players rather for Powerhouse. Poison Flame's going to try to catch those flanks and rotations, but now here we go with the, wow, what a beautiful blaze wall.
Yep, definitely good to see. Flare, Logan now picking up 2 for themselves. Poison Flame has successfully gotten onto the point as well. If he wants to get any sort of utility out, he's definitely going to be able to do so. Last 2 members of Orbital Takeover now need to rotate on over to B. They were over at A, however, their rotation a little bit late.
Still Scherze and Zapper waiting for their opportunity to either A, catch some exit frags, which is unlikely, or B, look towards pushing in towards the site. Nothing to lose,
there they are.
only everything to gain. But that recon bolt going to make things so rough. Logan with the quick flick around the corner, going to find Scherze. Zapper running back with his tail between his legs, but still Powerhouse now. They smell blood in the water, and they might try to hunt him down, but looks like they'll just kind of play it safe and keep it cool from the side of the dust.
Yep, we just see a nice little orbital perspective of the spike being exploded. But top of the leaderboards over for Orbital, 12, 12, 10, 10 for those guys. 20, 18, 14, and 12. My goodness. Powerhouse completely taken over. Flare in particular. I was touching on him earlier, but it really seems like Phoenix is just such a good agent to play if you're a very aggressive player, and definitely Flare has been that type of player for sure. Constantly entry fragging onto the sites and getting at least 2 every single time.
Yeah, now they're still trying to force the issue here towards B. It seems like they've had a lot of great success. Poison Flames playing that counter flank position, making sure that nobody files in from the A site. But I don't feel like Orbital are playing their normal game where Shirsei is playing such a strong lurk position where he's trying to make his way through and not really respect his opponents and play with that confidence. But we're seeing Orbital, I feel like, play a little bit more back and try to give up control. Lil Rain has other plans in mind as he's waiting in hookah. Now that the swing around the corner, the spray down will convert one. Concon with the operator doing a little bit of Spider-Man on the wall there. Just a little visual bug. But now there's still 40 seconds left on the clock. They'll get that res, and I'm going to assume they'll push towards A because that's where the spike is headed.
Yep, just a constant rotation that's coming out from Powerhouse. They always seem to get at least 1 pick over on another site, but the U-Haul orbital strike does come out. It takes Shirsei to literally just little HP. Does heal himself back up with the hot hands, which is nice, but Poison Flame from the back of the site, able to do something as well. Cypro using the Rolling Thunder, at least catching 1 member, I believe, but he is going to try and 1v1 inside of one of these corners. Now a 1-for-1 trade does go down. Vandal and a Dream, and it's going to be Durzy that does end up picking up a couple. All up to Con with just a quick scope. Inside of U-Haul is the last member using the camera just to check his angles. Can he end up defusing this spike? Knows exactly where this opponent is, but the Hunter's Fury inside of short is going out. Oh, there you go, Con. Doesn't have to pick him up 1 more. The spike itself needs to be defused. Where exactly is the Sova? He now ends up peaking 12-7. Powerhouse, my goodness.
Yeah, at this point, if I'm Orbital, I don't really know what can be done. Of course, we're seeing here the force buy. They don't want to lose out on this specific round. The economy is beautiful for the side of Powerhouse. There haven't been many opportunities ever since those first 2 rounds kind of went under for Orbital to really make a little bit more of a splash to try to knock down that economy. Now we're at a point where it's just too little too late. 5 in a row for Powerhouse. And they're looking and feeling good. And what that means for Orbital is they need to, not desperately, but they need to win their next 2 games. And considering they have, after their loss against Powerhouse yesterday, they moved on and won the next 2. They need to start thinking about that too. But Logan going to start us off here, take out Shirsei, and it's already in a little bit of trouble here for Orbital.
Not exactly what you want to see. 2 quick picks going right off the bat into Powerhouse's favor. At least if you're an Orbital fan, and that's not what you want to see. But if you're a Powerhouse fan, then you knew exactly what was going to happen here. Now has to come through from the rotation. Con was the last one remaining at least in the last round. Little Rain, Con needing to get inside of U-Haul and just through the flames, able to get 1. Neuro Theft does go out. 1 more pick for themselves. If Little Rain can get this pick, it could be crazy, but he's not able to. Cypro as well. Now with the headshot, last 2 remaining inside of A short. Can they get the synergy down? The transfer sprays is not able to do it. Cypro, can you get the last pick? The spike itself is going to explode. Does win the round, and that is going to be the game. Powerhouse 13-7.
Yeah, I think it was 13-8 yesterday. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to get our fact checkers on that, but I mean, let me see here. 13-6. So a 1-round improvement. Not really going to be the difference maker here for Orbital. And just, considering we know these guys personally, it's tough to see them, go out on a loss like this. But for the side of Powerhouse, very impressive Valorant from them. And I really feel like the whole team's stepping up. Let's have a quick look at some of those stats to see really who stepped up during that game. And no surprise, Flare and Poison Flames, they're at the tippy top.
Yep, Logan going crazy in his own regard. 22-11. Insane stats coming from this player. Flare as well just he went crazy for sure. The supports at the bottom of the leaderboards, Neuro and Durzy, of course, playing the Brimstone and the Sage. both at the bottom of the leaderboards, but they got a lot of assists. They got a lot done within the game itself. So no real surprise there.
Yeah, and despite Poison Flames not really having like his highest performing game, we saw yesterday he did a phenomenal job on Haven. In
Yep.
fact, I think he was the top fragger there. He still had an amazing game. Like, I still think he
Yep.
contributed so much. He was also playing a lurking position, so he wasn't there for those entries and still topped the leaderboards in 3rd place. So really have to tip my hat over to him, but tip my hat to the whole team because I think everybody really packed a punch and brought and brought their weight in kind. But again, it just wasn't in the cards here for the side of Orbital. I think they will still move on in the group, but I think Powerhouse they will get first, and then the second team, Orbital, has like a 70% chance to move on. Every other team still have a chance to move on, but they need to beat Orbital to do it. And I still think that they got it.
Yeah. Powerhouse, this is definitely going to be the team to watch going into tomorrow as well as later on tonight. They get to face First Gen GG for our last game of the series. But ladies and gentlemen, that was only game number 1. We still got 2 games to go. So, of course, don't go anywhere. We're just going to be setting up this game number 2. But when we come back, we get to see yet another match. Again, don't go anywhere. We got the Risen Esports VALORANT Invitational coming up in just a little bit.
Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we love what is throwing up our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach.
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies have tried every possibility. Ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. Time is a killer, and I'm with her once again. Blind, I was blinded, and I don't see once again. Let the beat drop. The sun was in front of me the whole time. I couldn't see. Blind, I was blinded, and I don't see once again. inside lane, missing exits, I'm glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire. No more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. It's time to break away. Forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. Cancel the cruise control. Switching the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel? Full steam through the setbacks. You can't win them all, but I'm proud I tried. I'm glad we had a dialogue. It's good to shape the mind. Speeding up the pace, turning up the heat. Where I need to be for the first time. Taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. Cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you
to you. The days are long and nights won't break me, but I'll stand by you. It could take a million days, but I see it through. I climb the highest mountain, baby, just to be with you.
I am in fact boycotting my producer right now with the thumbs down. That's why we were arguing about the
Why?
Russian mafia and the Italian mafia. I don't want to get into it. I was just boycotting. Okay, thumbs down, thumbs down. Welcome back to the Risen Esports Invitational. I'm Simo. Alongside me is Saved. We are moving on to our next match of day number 2 of the Risen Esports Invitational, powered by .pro. If you want to get a little, frisky with some competitive games, .pro will be your place to do it on Discord. Make sure to check them out. Moving on to our match at hand, we're going to move back over to Group B temporarily and have a look at Sarah Cameron Fan Club versus 303 Esports. Now, to give you a little bit of insight, those two teams topped the group yesterday, 1 and 2 respectively, because they both had 2-1 in their record. So now moving on, this is a very important match for the side of Sarah Cameron, because if we mentally look at the standings, SDK's tied for them for 2-2. So they really need to win this game if they want to remain in contention. But now, moving on to that first map, Saved. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, we're going to be playing on Bind. We already saw the bans go through. SCFC ended up banning Haven. 303 banned Split, and the map itself is going to be Bind. If you guys are new to this game, I know I saw a couple of you in the chat yesterday, then Bind's gimmick, or their game mechanic, is that there are portals across the map that you can take. There's one that goes from A over to mid over on B, as well as one just outside of B, that goes all the way over to A. And there are one-way portals, so you can't exactly take the one over
Spice Cam, baby.
back over to B. Yes, the Spice Cam. We saw this yesterday. Cheeky little position that our observer Yeti and Preston love to love to experiment with. Who went through a portal?
I just realized that could be branded as the old Spice Cam. I'm a genius. I would like all my royalties to come into my bank account starting tomorrow. So really would appreciate that. Thank you, Old Spice. I'll be in contact. My lawyers will be in contact. All that good stuff. Now, to the actual match at hand that we've moved past the royalties. Sarah Cameron on defense, 303 on offense, and already this round's been a weird one. They're going to start to funnel in, and they're looking like B is going to be their target here.
It's going to be Hookah. That's mainly the target, at least, like you said, for 303. Now getting onto the site. The site itself completely smoked out. It's going to be external. That's in one of the corners. That does get one. The Frenzy comes into Fade's hand and picks up 2. The long range isn't able to go through, but it's Nerve as well as Laseda? I can't say that name. Nerve finishes off the scoreboard itself. Sarah Cameron Fan Club pick up 1.
I thought you were going to say lasagna there for a second. I was really hoping that you were going to say lasagna. But, well, you didn't, and that is okay. Okay? That is okay. Yes. We'll move past lasagna. But, like you said, a great start here for Sarah Cameron. And so, for them, they win the pistol. They invest in some SMGs. something that we're not seeing a lot of at least, well, I'm seeing it at kind of the highest level of play, like, you know, the T1s, the 100 Thieves, the TSMs. They just buy pistols on that second round, so that on the third they can buy Vandals just like the other team that is losing. But you risk not being able to kind of duel things out here. But already we're seeing that 303 feeling a little confident, even though they got pistols in tow, and Moogie going to start us out with the frag.
Yeah, he's got the shorty for himself, and it's the long-range shorty. The molly does go out just to stall out the potential of the rush for just a little bit longer. It's going to be external now that tries to defend on A site. The slow rotate is going to be coming out from 303. Sova is right behind, inside of enemy lines. Maybe trying to flank here, CMO. Sky Smoke does stall it out for just a little bit longer. But what is 303 trying to do here?
Yeah, they're going to still try to push their way through, but unfortunately they got a couple of pistols and a Dream external. Going to hop down from the truck. Drennet. Oh, Drennet finds 2 with the headshot. This could be good news for them. Sarah Cameron come out on top. 3 members remain in that engagement, but 303 can bounce back here, and they can buy the weaponry that they need to tango, and they'll do exactly that. We're seeing Phantoms and Vandals a little bit more even, might I say, because, you know, with the recent changes to Vandal, you expect to see more Vandals than you do Phantoms, but 303, they're kind of opting in for a little bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, Phantoms, Vandals, like you said, all across the board. Sarah Cameron right now, they've got Spectres, and they also have 2 Vandals for themselves. Got to watch out here for the weapon differences that are coming through. We've seen it in multiple occasions, though. The Spectre can do some work if you are at close range, and that's what Fade is trying to do here inside of mid. Maybe go for a little bit of a jiggle peek, but he couldn't exactly find anybody. Very, very spread rush that's coming out right now for 303. Got members all across the map here.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a little bit more respect this time around. We're seeing a trade happen down long, and now they will start to get a little bit more information. They're still a little undecided. It's a 2-2 split across the map, and Sarah Cameron, they're going to still remain positioned on towards A. 3 members committed towards this side. A couple of those pre-fire shots through the showers will kind of give all the information that Sarah Cameron need to know. There may be 1, there may be 2, but still, it is now the rest of the team from 303 that'll join us on this A site. Moogie knows that someone's behind the box. A beautiful camera perspective here. We're seeing Race up on the box. External is going to be ready with this denial. The paint shell is going to come through. The spray is good. Moogie going to be the one that leads that charge, but External caught between a very difficult situation. He's going to need to spray down. One connects. Moogie will trade back. The drop down isn't good as Toro will take him down, and now the rotation comes in from Fade. A 1v3, odds stacked against him. Let's see how he fares.
He's able to do this, though. He's able to get onto the site itself and now wants to make his way into U-Haul. Oh, he actually got onto the... Whoa, that was crazy. He got onto the wall on top of U-Haul truck. Inside of U-Haul itself, there's going to be 2 members that are inside of here. He has to get through 2, but it's going to be Moogie that takes him down. Triple kill. That comes through for the Phoenix player of 303.
And now, moving on to this next round, it's usually kind of the tail of the tape. We're going to have to see how Sarah Cameron are able to bounce back in the rounds to come. Of course, we are seeing that they are trying to get a couple of those pennies together. They're going to really invest this round. We're seeing weapons bought across the board and some light armor, so they really want to try to still compete here up against 303 Esports. But still, Moogie at the top of the leaderboards, 5 kills to his name so far. It's going to be scary going up against a Phoenix that knows how to play.
That was a massive recon bolt. Caught out at least 1 member there. So they know that there are some members over at A. However, regardless of those odds, still the same members stay over at A. And just as I say, that Brimstone is now going on with the rotation. Beautiful, beautiful barrier wall that is now planted inside of Hookah. Of course, those walls, those panels did get nerfed from 1,000 HP to 800. So they should have no problem shooting through it. But still, they know exactly where the enemy team is.
Yeah, we are going to see how they are able to execute here. And so far, just kind of biding their time. 60 seconds left remaining on the clock. External playing a little bit more aggressively. You take too much time and you get punished for it. Now the rotation is called as they're going to make their way through the market. But still, it's 3-3. They have to commit here. They're going to start their pushing, but still it's just fire after fire. Not really committing just yet. And now they'll start to hop in, but the tripwire is good. It'll find out a couple of those members. Nerve going to find one. Toro will answer back, and now the fight continues. The spray is good. Drenna and Fade will get that job done, and it's all up to one final player here for 303. Spike's not in his hands, jumping through the portal. Unfortunate for him, a 4-1, a 4-stack here for Sarah Cameron. And that shock bolt going to try to find the enemy, but not going to find him quite yet. And a great round here for Sarah Cameron.
Yeah, this is a good strat that's coming through now for Sarah Cameron. Of course, if they wanted to go into the portal itself, they just have to 180. The recon bolt gonna spot him out through the wall. Can they find him? I don't think the answer is yes. Are they gonna go through though? Sova?
Ooh, close. Close, okay, close.
Close.
Very, very close. I am just trying in my other monitor. Somebody in the chat asked what happened to the Vandal. I don't exactly know what patch it was. It was in the beta patch. But something about the recoil made it just a more desirable weapon at long distance and really any distance in comparison to the Phantom. The Phantom was always a weapon that did not do as well as the Vandal at a longer distance. It did have a higher rate of fire, so at closer ranges, it was obviously a little bit better than the Vandal. But with some of those changes, it made the Vandal a little bit more viable and a little bit more of a better investment for some of those players that like to play at a little bit of a distance.
Beautiful analysis. Couldn't have said it better myself, of course, but now still looking at this round, a lot better of a spread coming through from 303, as well as an amazing pick coming through from these from the squad. Sky Smokes do go out just to stall out the actual rush itself. Phoenix has made his way into Cubby though. Nerve trying to look out for any of the members that are going towards Washroom and are maybe looking in from Cubby.
Orbital strike gonna push him away. It's going to be Mugi that catches him with his open arms, and that will be the call now to push in towards that A site. That's gonna be Fade here. Finds one, finds two. The headshots, they keep on coming. The slow orb gonna put a halt to that advance, and now Nerve gonna try to get that Molotov in a great position to spray now. Has to open up that barrier, or Fade from above. He's going to help Nerve out with that shot there onto Toro. And now two members here remain. The spike has yet to be planted, and that's going to be Mugi. He finds Fade. Still, the engagement continues. They'll pick up the spike, and now they're going to jet 20 seconds on the clock. They're looking towards B.
They need to plant in. That's the big thing. Of course, they've got the 16 seconds as well as the time. But the post-spike positions are so important. Where are they going to hide in order to take out these two players? Right now, Elbow, Vent is kind of that call. Undefined. He needs to get these kills. He gets the headshot. Can he get the second one? Yes, he can! The triple comes through. And 303 secure yet another round.
Yeah, rough stuff here for the side of Sarah Cameron. A great rotation there last minute going through the connector and then moving on to a brand new position there for them. Still Sarah Cameron feeling a little good, but unfortunately the economy is not feeling as good. They may need to save up here a little bit this round, give 303 a little bit more space. But so far, considering how close the matches have been, the economy is going to continue to be in shambles round after round until one team really starts to find their footing and an advancement, and we'll see if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we see it a lot in CSGO where they end up saving a couple of, or just one round in order to get the economy back up to full. It feels like in Valorant right now, teams aren't really used to that, and they're just like, you know what, let's just scrounge whatever we can. If we can buy 3 Vandals and 2 Spectres, maybe a Bucky instead of a Spectre, then I'm completely fine with that, and that is what Sarah Cameron are doing right now here on the board. They do put a recon bolt right in the middle of A and doesn't spot anybody out for the time being, but Mugi with 1. That's massive onto external.
Yeah, he's still going to be holding up here in the U-Haul. Like the use of the connector play here. Still the team undecided in the market. Will now call that rotation over. Drenit here with the Bucky and a Dream. That's going to be a great kill. That Spike Carrier, unfortunately, now still going to be moving up through short. They're going to try to avenge his fallen karma here. The Bucky not going to get the job done quite yet. Still holding on to it dearly. And it's still the engagement back and forth and still trying to get that job done from distance. The Bucky not going to get that finisher there. And Lazita getting that kill there, going to continue the fray as now the rest of the Sarah Cameron moving towards B, but that's not where the spike is headed. With 20 seconds left on the clock, they're going to re-rotate back over to A, and now they are ready. They're here. Let's see how they push in.
The initial rotation coming through from Sarah Cameron was absolutely amazing, kind of stayed exactly with their opponents, but right now they're kind of getting scrambled with members. They're coming through at the last second. External, though, does end up picking up one and a little bit of damage onto the second one. He does get taken down. It's going to be Fade now with one more. Zaf now with the second. Lazada, Nerve, there you go. Massive plays coming through. 303 only having one member remaining. He's going to be inside of short and gets flicked on by Nerve. The defuse comes down. My goodness, Sarah Cameron picking up yet another round for themselves.
The nerve on that guy. Can you believe him? Just walking up into A site like he owns the place. Ugh, disgusting. Get out of here. Go to the next lobby. I'm just kidding. Nerve, of course, second in the leaderboards there. 6-4-0. Needs to get a couple more assists if he wants to be a team player. But a team player can still be somebody who gets kills, and he's been doing just that so far. Now we're seeing on the side of 303, unfortunately for them, don't really have the economy to tango here, so they're just going to get a little bit more aggressive, I predict, this round. They've got SMGs. They're going to play fast and loose and send that goose loose. But so far for them, it's going to be the poke and prod as they look for information across the map.
Massive spread coming out here for 303. They just want to try and get as many picks as possible, and that's kind of the game plan that they've been playing so far. Get a pick on early and then rotate to whichever side. However, Sarah Cameron, they've always been very fast on those rotations. Whenever they know the spike is going to one area of the map, it's almost like they can see them through the walls. They immediately rotate, and they just know the game plan of the opponents. If Drennick can get one, that would be massive. But he knows that there was a little bit of movement inside of Market, so the call is immediately made. Nobody over on the side of SC wants to rotate just yet, though.
Yeah, still is going to be 303, maybe playing the, you know, one of the things that you can do is when you feel like you have close enough of an economy to at least invest in Vandals, you can kind of fake it, and still Sarah Cameron are going to respect you because they're going to predict that you either A, have Vandals, or B, don't have Vandals, you know, have a full buy or don't have a full buy. But Mugi, that Stinger might tell the tale of the tape there. Is going to get a frag here early. Drenna, unfortunately, missing a crucial kill. That's the Spike Carrier. Little does he know, Toro will find that one. A great start to the round. External now heavy in the paint here for the Orbital Strike, having to hop his way out. Now with that Spike planted, let's see how they retake the site.
Nerve needs to get onto the site as fast as possible, and he's able not to get anything. Aftershock into the corner, still Mugi with two huge plays coming through from the Phoenix. All of the Phoenix players today, man, have really been stepping up.
You know what? That's kind of a shocker for the most part. You know, a lot of what the beta has taught us is that Breach is probably the better substitute for Phoenix players, right? Like, you have a player that has two flashes. Well, I mean, Phoenix has two flashes, but you have more utility that is going to negate some of the opportunities to reposition. You've got the Rolling Thunder. You've got the Fault Line. You've got the Aftershock that is really good on defense and offense. But Phoenix proving here that can be used quite effectively regardless, but now we're seeing External hop in through the connector. He's going to be stuck there for a little bit as 303 are waiting on the other side. We'll see how External deals with this. He does have the showstopper, but doesn't have the blast packs to get him flying if he needs to get a little bit mobile.
It's going to be the entry frag that comes out of Mugi now inside of Hookah. That's really going to show if he can actually do some work. External is inside of the portal, so if he does hear any shenanigans go on from outside, he's going to immediately get out and try and look for a kill. Zaf onto Toro is a massive pick as well.
Oh, and he's a little frisky there too. He gets it with the Sheriff and has to back away now. In a great position, he's ready for the potential push in through a short. either going to get 1 kill or no kill. He's going to want 1 kill. That's going to really seal the deal here. Misses the first shot with the Sheriff. They know exactly where he is now, and he'll have to back away. Nerve here with the Molotov going to at least delay this push in with the spike, and he's getting really, really deep in here. Ends up on the other side, and Fade here with the shorty will trade that kill back. Drennan using the Hunter's Fury to get a little bit more action on the site. Won't connect with anyone, and oh baby! Fade picks up the Vandal, but only picks up 1 kill. External here with the flank, gonna try to make his way up into U-Haul. Sends it flying. The blood is in the water, and the Sharks are here to play a thrifty round going over to Sarah Cameron.
That defense, I think, was one of the best aggressive defenses that I've seen in such a long time. Literally within the first 30 seconds of the round, Zaf got into the enemy base. He was he was inside of tunnel way before 303 even knew what they were doing on their attack. That was absolutely crazy. Good stuff coming through from Sarah Cameron. Able to rotate as well, even from site to site, super effectively, and get the picks exactly where they needed to. Even getting onto the site sometimes can be hard if the opponents get there first. Gotta watch out for how 303 able to get these picks on in the early game. It would have been massive onto Fade, but they cannot convert.
Yeah, good start here for Sarah Cameron. So far, the round, or the first half rather, is not over quite yet. We are in round number 9 here. Still a couple more left remaining. And 303 definitely want to keep that momentum up and try to get a couple more rounds before this first half kind of slips away from them. But Sarah Cameron will be in contention for stopping that aggression. We'll see now how 303 decide to rotate over. The information gathered from B was not enough to consider a push, and now they are going to move their intentions over to A.
Immediate rotation comes through from 3 of these members. They need to find any sort of pick across this map. Sova already taken the low HP, does get healed up, which is great, at least on the side of Sarah Cameron. Over inside of U-Haul, it's going to be a couple of members that are now looking for their own potential. The Molly does go out. Does Brimstone actually want to try and contest this? The spike itself has gone down as well. Now all of the members of 303 are over on site of A. External with 1 outside of the portal itself. Fade gets 2, but it's massive from Laseda. Taking out Fade.
Oh, External trying to peek that corner. Won't come out on the other end of a good deal. Undefined Triumph will be the one that takes that kill. And that's going to be the engagement. Drennan with the kill with the Sheriff, but Lazito will answer back. And it's just frag after frag. 4 beautiful kills for Lazita. Win the round here for 303.
Zaf also gets a kill with his Aftershock. I think that was. Very, very late Aftershock that went down onto Laseda. He ended up taking a little bit of damage. Regardless, Laseda still getting a quad kill for himself. Immediately boosts up from the bottom of the leaderboards all the way to the top. Great stuff coming out from Sova. Sova's also one of those agents that's super, super underrated for some reason. But he can get so much information on a site. Hunter's Fury also a very, very strong ultimate too.
It's one of those things where the reason why Jet players, like, you know, the Bladestorm doesn't really feel like a great use of an ultimate, right? But yeah, it's one of those things where on an eco can be super handy, and Hunter's Fury kind of feels that same way. Not only can it be handy at taking out a couple of members, it is also useful in gathering information in addition to dealing damage.
It's going to be inside a Cubby that allows Nerve to try and get 1, and he does. He's on 8 HP. Wasn't able to convert the second one. Got a lot of damage out onto Caillou, but gotta watch out for External. Double C4 over double. Can he land the headshots? No, he can't. It's going to be through the boxes that Toro gets him.
That res will come through, trying to keep things still in contention. 50 seconds left on the clock, and with those smokes, it really tells me that the execute is upon us. That's going to be Fade. He's waiting up in the U-Haul, and the U-Haul, he will continue to wait as he finds a great kill here onto Mugi. Now with that slow orb, it's going to try to stop Fade from pushing in through the U-Haul. They've got that spike down now. And around the corner, that'll be the Sage player. They're going to swing aggressively. Fade now switching to the Vandal, looking to get some damage done. A couple of those members, those pesky little members, waiting down in short. It's Drennan that'll clean up that kill. Still, 2 more members remain. Zaf now waiting off to the side with the operator. That'll be the Hunter's Fury to stop that defuse. Lazita leading that charge, but now has to get involved, and Fade says not involved enough. And they will clean up shop as Sarah Cameron win yet another round on the board, putting us at 6-4 with 2 rounds left in the half.
Definitely a little bit of a late alert that came through from the game itself. But still, regardless, 6-4 is what we see after 10 rounds of play. Still have a couple of more to go. Still could very easily tie up the game as can be 303 Esports Blue. They have the loadout to kind of do so. I mean, throughout this whole match, it's been super spread out. One of the members has a Phantom, another one has a Frenzy. Might want to come down to his level, but definitely a massive spread.
Listen, when you're in the bargain bin, you either find a limited edition Michael Jordan sneaker or you find like a homeless sandal. You can't have anything in between, okay? And that seems to just be the case there. We are seeing the aggression, and already the Phantom is out of business. The Michael Jordan sneaker was a dupe, and now the rest of Sarah Cameron, they are looking to keep their momentum going here as they are trying to get back that control of that B site. The rest of the team here, they're up and around, hiding in the lab tunnel area and the elbow as well. Zaf gonna clean up one more remaining, and they want to get the clean ace here. The spike's been diffused. Last member on the other side, quick headshot, gets the job done. And last round here, after an eco for 303, they're gonna get locked and loaded and hope to do some damage in this last round.
See if they can do it too. So far, it did seem like an eco came through for 303. Mugi's still at the top of the leaderboard. He was able to get himself yet another Phantom. Just there. He was just there. So the calculations, at least the brain calculations came through in his favor. 3 Phantoms, 2 Vandals over on their side. Can they get any initial picks? That's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, it's going to be the name of the game here. They are kind of prepped and ready, still looking, poking and prodding their way through. But ever so slightly, they're going to need to be careful. Sarah Cameron are not a team that you definitely want to mess around with. It's now quite efficient to see a lead come through 7-4, and in that last round, this could be an 8-4 half for the side of Sarah Cameron. We'll see how prominent they are in that in the attacker side. That might be something that we'll see if they're comfortable with. But for the side of 303, they haven't really had the best performance in this first half, and see if they're able to kind of clean things up. But with a minute left, they need to start to execute or at least gather information soon.
Curveball comes out inside of Hookah, but it's Fade with the return. Headshot. Great stuff coming through from this player. Barrier wall just to secure at least a little bit of time. Orbital Strike, the good old trusty inside of U-Haul, and a massive mowdown coming through as well. Toro puts a stop to it by getting a pick of his own as well. The Aftershock had to come out from Zaf, but he doesn't do it just yet. He does actually inside of Default. Nerve now with one more kill for himself, looking for the sweep, and they're able to do it. Drenit with the Hunter's Fury across the map. Nerve looking for the defuse. He's able to get it off.
Yeah, beautiful stuff coming out from Sarah Cameron. Nothing, I feel like, can stop them now. However, I talk about this, or at least I try to talk about this every chance I get. When the half swaps, you either see the same consistent back and forth that we saw. Look at that. Look at the middle. Defense, offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, defense, offense. Yeah. Like, look at that middle. That really proves that the economy was in a difficult spot. Both teams are trying to get things going. But when we swap to the second half, you tend to see a completely different side from both teams. You're either going to see Sarah Cameron fall flat on their face, or 303 do the same, or vice versa, where they just come out swinging and dominate. Of course, for 303, they want to dominate. The repercussions of this game, I feel like whoever wins will come second in the group. And that is important. That's a lot on the line if you want to move on to Saturday's final day.
We've seen it multiple times, Simo, where teams in the semifinals are down by just so many, or even in the group stage, are down, in score in the match. They haven't been performing up until this point, and something just turns on. Maybe just the side switch really, really enables them to go absolutely crazy, and that's what we're looking for out of 303. They are on defense now on the back of the site. It's going to be Sova that's backed into the corner itself, not get grenaded just yet. Is taken down a little, is taken down by a little bit. But right now, Sarah Cameron cannot find their footing.
Revealing area.
Yeah, it's still 303 that have defended quite well. Of course, pistol rounds can be quite chaotic, and things don't always go the way that you want it to go. But for Sarah Cameron, if they're able to come out on top here, it is very important for them to get those early kills and to get those early rounds, because they can just close this out now. If they win the first, they win the second, 10-4. you know, they will be in the driver's seat. But Toro gonna start us off strong, as well as Triumph, just kill after kill, finding so much success on that B site. Weak. All up to Zaf now. He will get a headshot, but will he be able to get a couple more? Because there are 4 members that are ready to tango. No, he will not. And a round going over to 303.
This is what happened in round number 1 as well. 303 able to take the first round, I believe. They took the second one, and then something switched. So we'll maybe see it as we continue to go on here. But, or was that Sarah Cameron actually took that took the first 2? Yeah, that was them. But 303, if everything kind of goes by our prediction, they're gonna win this next round. But I don't know. They looked kind of wishy-washy when it came to the full buys of Vandals. Maybe something changes here on defense.
Recon Bolt gonna spot Toro out. He's gonna need to back away, but he's got the Ares here, and a very interesting investment on the soft buy. And he's gonna use it to great effect. Already getting a headshot onto Trennett, moving things up here for the leaderboard for him. But another kill will come through against Fade, and again, it's an eco round for the side of Sarah Cameron, and they can't really get anything done quite yet. So 303 can expect to win. Nerve nodding up and down for us here. All up to him. He's got a classic and a spike and a dream, but that dream is going to need a lot of work if it wants to be lived out here on this A site.
He can get the spike down. It's the only thing he's looking for. The next thing I was going to touch on, actually, is that the Ares ended up getting buffed, I believe 2 patches ago, to where it now costs 1,600, the exact same as the Spectre. And a lot of players will opt to go for the Ares over the Spectre, at least in some cases, you know, at least if you want a little bit, you know, of a more accurate long-range LMG in some cases. But, yeah, that's what you saw Toro do there, and he got a quad,
So usually when we see someone win the pistol, they win the second soft buy. The third round usually goes over to the team that has lost the previous 2 rounds. It's not always that definite. Yep. It's probably like a regular 50-50 chance on a full buy. Or actually, I'd probably put it up to 60-40, considering 303 are not going to be buying new weapons, right? They're going to stick with SMGs, or they're going to stick with the Ares. And so I'd actually rather be in this position, because if you win this round, your economy starts to really snowball, and 303 have a difficult time, or whoever's in that position have a difficult time to catch up when it comes to the economy. And considering this is the second half, this is where rounds really start to have a lot more weight and a lot more impact. So we'll see if Sarah Cameron are able to come out with the clutch here. Of course, it's going to require a lot of gun skill, execution, and they're going to start their execute here on towards A, and they're looking hot and heavy.
Definitely something different. The immediate rush onto the site is usually what we do not see, but it's going to be external onto Mugi. Massive. Mugi was at the top of the leaderboards. He hasn't been continuing his reign of terror, but this is usually the meta that we see, is the Sage Wall on the right-hand side. Lasagna ended up getting himself 1. Goes for the flank right now. Might find an enemy Sova if he continues down this path, but the game immediately slows down.
Yeah, Lazita, he's going to be using that flank position to his advantage. Already undefined Triumph, leading the charge with a couple of frags, but swinging around the corner. He will find 1, 2, maybe 3, and a beautiful execution to take back that site. And 303, they will almost even things up 8-7. They're clicking at the heels of Sarah Cameron, and they have to be scared.
Oh, 303, they turned something on, Simo, and that was one of the potentials that we saw happening, is that, hey, 303 maybe just had a horrible time on attack. Maybe 4 rounds was the only thing that they could have gotten for themselves. But all of a sudden, now here on attack, they have smiles because they know exactly the situation that they're in. Look at the scoreboard as well. 12, 11, 11, 10. My goodness. They're all together on the leaderboard.
Yeah, and you love to see that, especially when the whole team's kind of pulling their weight. It sucks to see, though, when you don't see someone top fragging and just playing out of their mind. I love a good teamwork team, but I love also seeing a Pugstar just take it to a whole nother level. Mugi may be the one that takes it to a new level today. 1, 2, and 3 right on the docket as External answers back, but will it be enough? Drennan will be the last one to push to have the opportunity to press on the gas pedal, but it is 303. They've caught up. It is 8-8, 4 rounds back to back to back. And now they're looking as strong as ever. And what, like I said at the second half, it can either be a similar even back and forth, or one team is just going to shine, and 303 have been doing just that coming up in this second half.
Massive, massive tied scores across the top of your screens, of course, but right now we have to watch out for Sarah Cameron. We can't exactly count them out just yet, because right now they have full buys. This was usually their specialty. Really cool observer. Thank you so much, Yeti Preston, for getting that Sova arrow. However, it's going to be 2 massive picks that come out for 303. They're acting way too aggressive, and it's really working out for them. Mugi now with 2. Definitely didn't expect that, but they're looking for even more defense. One going to be inside of Cubby. The flick comes through. Toro with one more.
Oh, man. Yeah, Sarah Cameron are on the force buy here, and so for them, you hate to see it. You full buy, you invest in an operator, and you get flawless. You get flawless. That hurts. That is brutal coming up against a team that you just went even toe-to-toe with in that first half. Now you got to default to pistols. You potentially lose this round. It's 8-10. And this game's already starting to slip away from you. Of course, like you said earlier, the game's not over yet, but 5 straight is pretty telling from 303.
Definitely. The momentum is really shifting into their hands. They could very easily close out this game if they wanted to. But this is where the great games come in, Simo, is finally when Sarah Cameron are able to find their footing. At least, if that potential is there, and are able to take a couple of rounds in a row. Nerve with just a sheriff. It's a save round that's coming through here for Sarah Cameron. They're able to find a pick. It's one thing that they haven't been able to do in these past couple of rounds. They've already gotten onto A with the spike down.
Yeah, they got that spike down, but we saw earlier how that was not really the name of the game. Caillou is going to find one on external. It's still Zap trying to get some damage done here with the Sheriff. The operator not really helping out Toro there, but Caillou will quickly return the favor in kind. Drennan now going to try to get that answer back and around the corner. The flick is crispy. And now 2 members remain, Nerve and Fade. Orbital Strike will try to dissuade them from pushing any further on towards that spike, but Fade's got the Vandal here, all on his lonesome. He needs to swing, or else this will get defused. 1 kill comes through. 1 more headshot will connect the dots. There's still 1 more left. He has to defuse the spike, but Sarah Cameron, has he delayed enough? Yes, he has! As they will put another round on the board, 9-9.
Oh my goodness. What? The attackers win it on a save round. You did not expect Sarah Cameron, after 5 rounds losing on a save sheriff round, to win it. It was going to be Fade, man. You were asking for a pub stomper. You're asking for that carry. Fade right now is well above the rest of his teammates. Whew. What a game. What a game.
I have to say that is a round that they should not have won on paper. You talked about it. It's a save round. You don't lose those, 303. You don't lose those. And now the full buy here from the side of Sarah Cameron. If Sarah Cameron are able to win this round back to back, that's going to put 303 in a position where their economy will be in shambles. So very important that they win this, or else I'm going to call that the game is just going to slip away from them. It's going to be too late to no takesy backsies, okay? So they really need to win this round if they want to keep in contention of this map.
They found my wire.
Small error coming out here for 303. They had the Brimstone Ultimate, they had the Orbital Strike, and they ended up using it inside of B long onto no one. No one was even in the vicinity of it. So you could have used that if an enemy team was planting. Maybe you're out of range of the planter. You kind of want to maybe disrupt the opponents, but yeah, they kind of just used it out of nowhere. But right now, Sarah Cameron rotating on over to A. They want to get onto the site. They want to get some picks. It's going to be Fade that runs into Sova immediately.
Yeah, it's Fade. Oh, great flash, but still Toro will trade it back. They'll get that spike planted, very likely. But now with that running back, they will try to gather more information. Mugi going to be the one that pushes in aggressively. He's got control of U-Haul, a great start. Zap will be the one that pays the price. External able to extinguish the flame, but Toro and Caillou as well, getting the job done. One member remains. It's Fade. He's burned alive to a crisp, but Caillou will finish off the frag. And 303, they're back in the driver's seat, and they've got their foot on the gas pedal.
All they need to win is 3, and they've done it round after round after round. You can see it even on the middle of the scoreboard. They won 5, lost 1, won the last round itself. They've won 3 in a row before, and they can definitely do it over the course of a couple of games. Or a couple of rounds, my bad. Whew, 303, how are you going to stop these guys?
Well, 303 are the one that don't need to stop them. They're the one in the driver's seat. They're fine. They're okay.
Yeah.
Sarah Cameron, however, they, you know, it may be too late to go back to the drawing board because the drawing board has currently been bulldozed by 303 Incorporated. So they need to figure something else out because so far it has not been working. They're on the pistol here. So if they lose, I mean, we've seen them on a beautiful eco before, of course, but the repercussions of this round losing will be 9-11 too soon. But then they will have the opportunity to buy, and I just think 303 have their grasp on this game so strongly that'll be way too difficult to turn things around. Drennet will try to get a frag. We'll find one onto Toro. Now that they have control of this A site, let's see how 303 are able to answer back.
2 heading into heaven, 2 inside of CT vents. How exactly are you going to get onto this site effectively without getting sprayed? And it's already 2. Mookie and Undefined getting 2, but it's going to be Fade. Zap needs to go up huge, but he cannot. 303, they're completely taking over this site. My goodness. Undefined has weaved his way throughout this whole entire point, but now it's all up to External. Can he get these picks? He gets 1, and that is massive. Can he get the last one? The 1v1 situation. Can he win it? No, he cannot. It's lasagna, baby. And he ends up winning the round for his squad. Milliseconds is what is left. 303, 11-9.
Am I in the Milky Way? Because that was the most galaxy brain play that I have seen in quite some time. You think that he's going to stick to the right near the spike. Instead, he pushes forward, has the cojones of an absolute madman, and just frags out External. He swings the corner, he looks to the spike, and then he looks right because he thinks that he's going to back away back towards the showers. Nope, he steps forward, wins the gun duel, and a crucial round 1 now for 303. As we'll see Sarah Cameron, they've got Spectres, they don't have armor. They're at the end of their wits here. Can they clutch this out? It's going to be tough.
Every single round counts, Simo. I love these games of Valorant. This is why I love this game so much. It's because every single round counts in these last couple of rounds. All 303 need to do here, win 1 more, and they go home with the cake. Sarah Cameron, though, they have fought tooth and nail, definitely, before the half. But they are not able to transfer the momentum that they have had early on. The defense is way too strong. Through the smoke would have been sick. Oh. Not able to get it off. Trade of operator shots. No one able to land anything just yet. Lazada might be on the lurk here as well. The spike itself has been planted as well.
Yeah, with that spike planted, they are now having to get that double duty and get control back of that side. That smoke early up on in Heaven's going to secure a lot. Drennan will find the frag. Mugi will trade it back. Fade as well, continuing that transfer. And what looked to be Grim is starting to be the Reaper. As 303 are caught in a difficult position. Lazita finds one. Mugi will answer back as well. The Hunter's Fury isn't good. It's not good so far, but still, they have to get that spike defused. They'll divide and they'll conquer. One will go down. It's all up to Zaf now. He's going to switch over to the operator. Has to try to get a couple of those shots in, and the shot will be good, but the spike's been defused, and it's match point for 303.
The comeback. We never expected at an 8-4 half for 303 to come back, but something turned on. Whew. Mugi, undefined. I don't know what they did, man. They pulled on their big boy pants. They put on their big boy pants. They changed their underwear. They, you know, did all the things that you need to do in order to go into teenhood. Where's that
and you
reference
know
go? I
what?
have no idea.
It's and you know what? There are 2 players in this game with 22 kills. It's Mugi and it's Fade, and they're on separate teams. So this by no means has Sarah Cameron put on a bad performance. 303 has just played surgical, they've played clinical, and they've kept up with their momentum. Absolute beauty of a performance here in the second half, and they're going to continue just that. But still, Sarah Cameron, they're doing something that they haven't done in a long time, and that is prep B for a potential push.
Yeah, they continue to go on to A over and over and over again. Sage wall on the right side, plant the spike, go post spike plant positions. They try and do the 1v1s and they can't do it. Let's go on over to B and see what exactly can happen. The only problem is that they predicted it. 303 predicted. They have 3 on this site right now. The portal, however, is being taken. 2 are already over there. The breach was inside of A short. Now the only member is going to be Sova inside of Hookah. Can he catch anybody on the rotation? It's Laseda, though, now with 1.
Yeah, it's still going to be a difficult uphill battle here for them to climb. It's going to be the Orbital Strike pushing them out from U-Haul, but still the 4v5 now. They will still try to get control back at U-Haul. Zaf with a great kill onto Undefined. The flash connects. Now a 3v5. For the first time in a long time, 303 are up against the ropes, but can they climb out of this hole? A couple of early shots in through the U-Haul. It's going to be Caillou that's there leading that charge external, getting a crucial frag. It's a quick trade here up in U-Haul. It's still now the fight will continue and Fade from the side. Mo's down 2. And Sarah Cameron are still in this, trying to stay alive.
This is where teams get their energy from. The brain energy is what I like to call it. Is when you are down match point and you say, screw it, let's try a new strat. And somehow, some way, it works. The way that they were able to win 4 rounds ago was off of a Sheriff save buy. And somehow, some way, they're able to win with full Vandals with a rotation from B portal over to A. Great stuff that's coming through here for Sarah Cameron. The flick comes through. Nerve gets 1, but it's going to be Kai with 1 more.
Yeah, they not unfortunately able to continue that spray and secure some of those kills. A great trade nonetheless, but now they're still looking towards B. Hunter's Fury going to try to push some of those members off of the site. A 1 shot will start to connect, as well as the showstopper from the site. A great combination of ultimates, but unfortunately not able to seal the deal. But Nerve here with a beautiful Orbital Strike, going to find 1. They are starting to feel the fire burn hot. And now they'll still try to push through. Drennan will find 1 with a beautiful shock bolt. Sarah Cameron somehow have found life in a difficult scenario, but Laseda with the Odin through the window, through the labs. Now down to a 2v3. They have to get that spike over to A because they've got 50 seconds left on the clock.
It's got to be a fast rotation that comes through. The only thing is what is Drennan going to do here? Is he going to wait, maybe try and lurk inside of Elbow? Is he going to try and wait for the push onto the site? Now, finally, 303 realizing what the heck is going on. They've got 3 guys on this site now realizing that it's over on A. And it has to be Drennan that follows. He saw it. He saw it, Simo. Can he get anybody off of this tail end?
How did they not hear him? He bunny hopped over. Oh, this is bad, but this is so good for Sarah Cameron. Still, the lurk is good. They need to make sure that they check from behind. Mugi's going to find 1 Nerve here with the operator. It'll connect with the trade back around. Drennan out. He's deep in the site. It's a 1v2. He needs to defend the spike. The spray is good, but Laseda from the above angle trying to get that last kill, and that spike will finally be able to connect. Laseda will get that final kill, but the clutch is good for Sarah Cameron, and another round to stay in contention.
My goodness. It's always in Risen. It's always in the Risen Valorant tournaments that we get the closest matches, the most intense ones. Whew. This is one of the best ones I've seen so far for sure. 11-12. 303 Esports came back at the half from an 8-4 deficit. And now they're taking the match point where Sarah Cameron has won 2 in a row. Oh, this is the most important round that we've seen so far. I believe full buys all across as well.
Oh, this is getting down to the wire. We thought We thought 303 was going to push through, but Sarah Cameron are fighting tooth, nail, every bodily organ that you can think of. They are fighting for it to try and stay in contention. Seeing some of that utility already spread out on the B site, but still, it's Sarah Cameron that are just gathering information. Still contemplating this push towards B. They have a lurker towards A. Trying to gather a little bit more information, or at least set up a potential push in through the showers. The portal is called through, but still, it's 303 that are remaining on this B site. They'll send back one over for the rotate. Just undecided so far, but with 40 seconds left on the clock, you have to think that it's going to be A, and that's why you see a 4v4 ready to go.
This is getting me on the edge of my seat, Simo. This is going crazy. We've got a 1-2-2 split. Last 30 seconds here of the round as well. It's going to be Mugi that runs into 2. He has the spray here for him. Nerve goes down. Fade goes down as well. Mugi, massive stuff with only 15 seconds left. He just has to survive.
No, unfortunately not able to. It's down to a 3v3. What was a hero play from Mugi won't seal the deal. Lazina with 1, Lazina with 2. It's all up to Zaf. The spray is good, but Zaf will convert. And now, not enough time to plant that spike. 303 come out on the end of a beautiful game. And Sarah Cameron, oh my goodness, saved. What a match that we just had the pleasure of witnessing, of casting. And Sarah Cameron, I think their chances of moving forward have kind of slimmed down a little bit. It's going to depend now if SDK are able to win their remaining games. But, wow, I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words.
My heart. My heart, my heart. That's all I gotta say on that one, Simo. I definitely agree with you. Let's take a look at some post-game stats if we don't have any anything to really say on this one for sure. Mugi, top of the leaderboard, 25-20. Fade, 24-18. Whew. These players, they went, they put on their try-hard caps for sure.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the timeline as well, just to see how the rest of the, the whole game kind of unfolded. And really the tail of the tape is in that second half. You see a lot of red there. And to be quite honest, it really was the side of 303 that were playing quite well. But unfortunately, fortunately for them, they were able to come out on top. But Sarah Cameron really started to turn up the heat at the end there, but it was just too little too late.
Let's take a look at that round number 18, because that was the one that was really, really interesting. The sheriffs, right? You saw initially the Brimstone Sheriff came through. The spike itself was planted 10 seconds later. Breach ended up getting a kill with his sheriff, and then the Sage later on in the round ended up picking up a Vandal, getting the last 2 kills. It was really, really good for sure.
Yeah, and just at the end of the day, you have to commend Sarah Cameron for some great play. We saw them yesterday as well play their hearts out, and now I feel like a lot of what hangs in the balance for them is if SDK are able to, it's going to be really win or lose for them. It's going to probably go down to a tiebreaker potentially, depending on, there's just, now Sarah Cameron has to wait for the other games to play out. But for the side of 303, they can confidently say they will very likely make it out of group as a 1st or 2nd seed. And that is huge for them, and GG's all around. We're going to throw to a quick little break before we head over to our last match of the day. And boy, am I excited for that. Powerhouse up against, I think it's Powerhouse up against First Gen G, something like that. Or maybe, we'll figure it out. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Grab a drink, grab something to eat. We'll be right back after this.
Gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, you will not. But gravity pulls you straight down.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SDK Simps can finally unite. They can pound their fists. They can combine their hands. They can do whatever they want because we will be casting the final match of the day, SDK versus 303, which we just saw 303, a very close series. Unfortunately for SDK, they lost to Elite Duels earlier on. And for them, the entire group is currently 2-3 except 303. So if SDK win this next match, not only will it be legendary on stream, not only will we be happy to see Hype Hop win and dominate here in this next upcoming map, but they will actually move on if they win, and that is super important, I think, for them. Actually, never mind. There's a lot of other games that need to be played out too, but they can force a tiebreaker if they win, and that is super, super key.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting match for sure, but we're going to have to see how this all pans out. SDK ends up banning Bind, 303 ban Split. It's going to be Haven that we watch here tonight. So not a triple bind, 2 binds and a Haven. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a joke there somewhere, but my mental capacity is like we started at 100 at the beginning of the stream, and slowly that battery's been depleted, you know? And so I don't have enough juice left to invest in a joke. And so I'll just leave it up to the SDK Simps to come up with something when they hear this, because we are obviously in a little bit of a delay. But no delay here with actually getting into the match. 303 starting off on defense and SDK on the offense. I'm expecting yet another great game. To talk a little bit about what happened last time these two teams met, SDK won 13-7 over 303. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here in this match up ahead.
Yeah, just like you said, we're going to have to see SDK right now on the attack, and they're right now looking over at A. A little bit of a different switch up from what we see here, Simo, as well, because Cypher is the one that's solo holding over on A. Usually we see him over on C, but the immediate rush onto the site, it's going to be player 2 as well as Kai getting 2 kills for themselves. Mookie comes out of literally nowhere. There are 3 members behind this box as well, and nobody wants to peek him just yet. An amazing flick that comes through with the shorty. Kai as well with 1 more. Lasada with 2 flicks for himself in round 1. Have me going crazy.
Oh, wow. Nothing's more satisfying than getting that shorty in full effect. Shots will ring through, connections are clean, and 303 start on the best foot possible. A round win here, and boy, are their investments coming in hot. A Marshall and Ares, but SDK on the back foot of an L. Force buy on the Stinger and the heavy armor they're looking to play in this upcoming round.
Yeah, you were talking about how a lot of competitive teams will just buy pistols and armor in round 2, and I think that's super, super smart as well. But the team, yeah, like you said, the team that ended up losing, full Stingers, full heavy armor. What are they able to do with that? Moogie, very surprised that he did not get any sort of kills.
Oh. Yeah, hot hands. Not really sure why he threw it in that specific direction. Maybe to stop them from funneling in. Already player 2 with the frag. Undefined, though, will answer back quite quickly. Unable to continue that answer back. Hype up with a quick kill. And now there are 2 members remaining. Toro will make that a 2v2. And with that spike planted, they need to get that retake here for the site. Oh, Lazita here with a great kill. Now 1 more member remains, and SDK are falling apart.
And that is it. With the complete wipe across the board, the Stinger. I don't know why I think I said Spectre before, but the Stinger rush came through for SDK, and it just simply wasn't as effective. The BM spike defuse. You see it finally at the end. The defenders ended up winning 3-0-3 Esports.
Okay, so this is where SDK would normally be able to buy Vandals, but because of their force buy, they delay their Vandal buy by another round, and that hurts a lot. That hurts so much. Top Ramen as well doesn't want to buy a Vandal on that 3rd round, so he's going to buy a Stinger and heavy armor. SDK, they're just trying to force the issue, but all that does for 3-0-3 is just build up their economy, and you're seeing that here as they already have 2 Vandals, and that's going to hurt.
Lot of free fire going through inside of the wall. Takes Speens down to low HP. Moogie gets it through the wall, and 1 more. Actually, Toro, there you go. Onto sub Uwu driver. Whoa, Kai with 1 more. Kills all across the board.
Oh, high pop! Yeah,
Right in the
baby!
chest.
You love those shorty flicks. Still, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to win this round. It is a 2v4, and he's being pinched in by an army, a hail of bullets. Toro's on the other side with the Ares. And Moogie's going to get the job done at the top Ramen, and now all up to high pop. We've seen him work with less, but around the corner he goes. Undefined Triumph will be the one that finishes off that kill. But now will be the first official round, I hope, with the Vandals, and we are seeing that to be the case here. Let's see how, with weapons in tow, SDK are ready for this match.
Lucida with an Odin. Never thought I would say those words. Toro maybe with an Odin is what I would expect, but no, he's sticking with his good old trusty Ares. Just wants to save on top of the 5k that he has. Odin, top of the leaderboard. We have a Spectre in the middle of the leaderboard. You know, they don't want to buy this guy anything. I feel kind of bad for him, for Kai. He only has a Spectre. But the rush comes through. SDK, they want to go into A.
Oh, no. Oh, will they see him?
No.
Hi, you! Oh my goodness. Player 2, though, will quickly answer back. A great answer back at that. And a beautiful barrier orb to stop the push from Sewers. Little do they know, there was only 1 member there. Moogie with 1. Will he find 2? It's Top Ramen that denies that second frag. And now they'll get that spike planted. Or will they? Or will they? The lasagna is out the oven, and they're here to play. 303 find 2 on the site.
Electronic bolt. He used his electronic bolt to get a double kill. When do you ever expect? Speeds! Let's go, Speeds! Triple kill! He gets it and plants the spike. No, he doesn't. It's okay. Woo!
Man, these matches are just spicy. Did I order lasagna that has an absolute kilogram of paprika? I don't think I did, but Lazita making it look easy. The Hunter's Fury coming out, letting those arrows fly, but it's still not enough. As SDK on the back of Speen, spilling the beans, finding the frags he needs. But let me tell you, Saved, the economy on both sides is tarnished, and that makes for a competitive Valorant match.
I don't know if you guys can do this at home, but if you can just yell Speens and just join in how fun it is to yell that name, it's so great. High pop, though, on the site itself. Headshot now for himself. He does get 1 more body shot. There you go. Moogie tries to transfer with the run it back, but he only gets 1, which is still completely fine. On the site itself, headshot goes down. Player 2 goes down. Orbital strike onto the sights. A little bit questionable, but it's still fine.
Yep, now they have to try to divide and conquer here. Divide and conquer, they won't. Hype Hop will be on the receiving end of a hail of bullets from Moogie. Now 1v2. Top Ramen will make it a 1v1, and this is where things get a little bit more interesting. 50 seconds left on the clock. Moogie still guarding the spike with his life. A couple of pre-fire shots reveals the position for Top Ramen. Now Moogie, he's going to try to reposition. Little do they know, on the other side, it's Top Ramen facing a hail of bullets from Mugi and a beautiful 4K coming out from him. Moving forward, up on the leaderboard, taking over Lazita's place at the tippity top. And SDK back to the pistols. Need to find an answer in the upcoming rounds.
And do you expect nothing less than from a 303 Esports? They ended up winning that last series with just so much momentum, and now they come into this set and they have to continue, right? I feel like when there's literally no time in between games, you're starting to feel it. You're really starting to feel it. But 303, we can see them transfer that momentum here in this match. 4-1, and Toro through a wall. Toro now with 2.
Toro, what's happening? What are they feeding you? What are they feeding you, Mugi? Speen's there, using the ghost to great effect, finding a kill onto Mugi. Lazita practicing the flicks, not really sure what's going on there. But still, it is SDK. They've got ultimates in tow. 3 members still alive in a 3v4 up against 303. The odds definitely not in their favor on the eco, but they can make things spicy, and they have been these past few rounds, despite 303 coming out on the better half. The Classic gets the job done, and player 2 disconnects player 1. Caillou back to the spectate screen.
So clean, so incredibly clean. He immediately runs out with the Classic. Now sitting in the corner, 30 HP. What else can you do at this point? You cannot play from long range because you can't afford to take any damage. You have to play that close range game. And luckily for him, he's going to get the back of a player. He tries to transfer, but he's not able to do it. Regardless, he still gets one top ramen now. 23 right in the back. Lasagna goes down. SDK 2 still remaining.
Oh, he's got to get this spike defused. It's going to be a tough call here. Orbital Strike going to push him right into the open arms of the sewers, and he's going to save the weapon. SDK back on the board. Oh, running and gunning. Speens falls to the ground. And it's another round back on the board. A thrifty win going over to SDK on the back of an eco. Now moving on to the full buy. They're going to get locked and loaded, and they're ready to play.
Definitely did not expect SDK to win that round. However, they come up absolutely huge. Now they have to decide, Simo, do they want to try an eco or do they just want to full-on save here? Yeah, a lot of pistols. You see an SMG. They got the Stinger. One Vandal for Toro just because he's been popping off so much. You saw him at in the early game with 5K, so this is kind of him just continuing on his credits. But it's a save round that's coming through for 303.
Oh, TP from Hype Hop. He's in a great position. He's up in heaven. But will he make things difficult for his loyal subjects? The spray is good from Lazita. The Stinger will take him down. The eco is starting to unfold here for 303. SDK, they're grouped up on Banana. Can they make it a fruit salad? The Rolling Thunder going to roll out that red carpet. They want to get active on this A site, and they're going to push in. Toro, he's waiting for this shorty. The dream will come true. It will not, as top Ramen will take him down. And now with 4 members remaining, they're going to try to get that job down. Lazita using the Hunter's Fury to try to get some of those shots in behind the box, but it's not good enough. And now they have to deal with the retake.
Mugi needs to get onto the site. He's the only one. Oh, that's a massive couple of kills. How is this happening exactly?
Oh!
The drive-by that comes through Ubu driver will be no more, and they just have to defuse the spike. What was that on a save round?
What is happening? I know that the chat is going crazy. I know the SDK fans, SDK simps, let me be clear, are in full effect. But 303, like, look at the color of the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. Green, 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 red, green, red, green. Am I going to see another red here with the pistols that I see? Maybe, maybe, maybe. I just think that these two teams are so evenly matched. I wish this was the grand final. I wish. Listen, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I wish this was a grand final.
Yeah. I hear someone singing Jingle Bells because this looks like Christmas on that scoreboard for sure. But we continue to look for this next advantage for SDK. Constantly going with a lot of attacks. Hype Hop. What is he trying to do here inside a garage? He's being very sneaky.
Yeah, already a couple of shots here from Hype Hop. Still playing the limbo game, keeping it low. The frenzy not able to connect, and the heal here from the Sage going to keep things a little bit more interesting. But from behind, Lazita going to get a crucial shot, dropping that spike. They need to make sure that they work this out clean. But 303, they're not dealing with the eco.
Yeah.
They're dividing and they're conquering shot after shot. Lazita and co. A flawless round from the eco. SDK not having the weaponry to really deal with it quite well. Now moving on to that second, we'll see that full buy hopefully come through after as they have lost 2 in a row. Yeah. And now they will be able to play and try to get a couple of rounds back into their favor.
Look at the econ for 303. Oh my goodness. We're in the 4,000s, 3,000 for the lowest member, which is Toro. These guys are fine. Even if they end up losing this round, of course, that would be... I feel like they would have at least 2 more rounds of, like, you know, a little bit of stability. But regardless, this is going to be our first round in a very long time that we see full Vandals across the board. Probably the most even round so far. But look at 303 Esports over on C. They are rushing down long C because their opponents have never come C in this match.
Joke's over.
Yeah, that sort of respect is not really good enough for you to really keep things a little bit more competitive, and now that'll give them the opportunity to push in. A great swing together will not net them a kill, but at least the information gathered will make them feel comfortable enough to kind of reposition. We'll see 303 back away. They don't really want to be tagged down by a couple of Vandals. With less than a minute left on the clock, SDK need to act. They were hoping for a beautiful B execute where you just put up the berry orb, you plant the spike, and then you back off to the window. Super hard for the defenders to take it back. But they'll call the reposition. They'll look towards A, which has been trapped up, cambered up, everything in the kitchen sink there, ready to defend that A site. See how SDK do it, or 303. Will they defend? We're about to find out.
A lot of potentials here for sure to come through. Toro, massive. He could have gotten a headshot there, but he wasn't able to land any of his shots. Kai as well on the ground, kind of flopping on his own. He tried to peek and couldn't get it done. Mugi as well. What is going on to 303? A lot of these star players that usually love to win these 1v1s are just kind of flopping all across the board here, CMO. SDK, they completely take over A side and get the spike down.
Yeah, so far so good though, as they have that spike down, but 303 really need to play this carefully. There's a man in the corner, nobody puts him in the corner. It's Top Ramen, and he's fresh out the microwave. 3 quick kills for him. Toro now, all on his lonesome. He's gonna find one on the conversion, but down to 28 HP. It is Hype Hop that's on janitor duty, the last one to clock in for the night. Gets that frag, and SDK back in business, put a round on the board.
And they want to go up 6-6. That's SDK's dream. If we learned anything from last game, we cannot count the team that is down out just yet. 303 Esports, if you guys were not here for the last match, 303 Esports was down 8-4 versus Sarah Cameron, and they came back and won it. So SDK, maybe this is their time to turn on.
We'll see if that's going to be the case. We are very likely seeing SDK here on a little bit of a force buy. They obviously have the economy to play with, but so do 303. We're seeing the Vandals here represented on the side of Mugi in a great position from him. Hype Hop with his pants down, has to pull him back up, but Top Ramen will be the one that answers back quite quickly. Mugi back to the loading screen. A 4v4 now. Have control of C short, maybe looking towards C, but they don't really have the tools to play around with. A great spray from Lazita, not able to tag anyone just yet, but a great defense will net them, you know, stopping that push towards C, and SDK have to re-strategize with a minute left.
They completely back up as well. They don't exactly go for B or C. They just completely back up and start to go over towards A site. But it's going to be the Cypher that lurks over on B site itself. Sky Smoke do go out, but there's the Cypher, baby. Player 2 over on the other side of the map. Kai wants to get aggressive. He gets on into sewers. However, inside of towers, he gets 1. He gets 2. The Phantom coming in his favor. Gets a little bit of damage out on the Top Ramen. Rolling Thunder was about to go out, but they do not do it just yet. Spike itself has gone down.
Yeah, we are seeing the 2v3 now. SDK need to get into their post-plant positions quite quickly. Two members going to be coming down from Banana, or very likely going to split up into double duty. Limbo not going to be the name of the game here, as they have to take out that tripwire. A great flick from Triumph, as they will continue that push in. Player 2 will answer back. The 1v2 now. The spike's ticking down. The orbital strike going to push him out. He's going to net himself a kill before he seals the deal. Right in the face of danger. It's Triumph that'll find that last frag. Diffusing that spike will net them yet another round. And with 2 rounds remaining, will SDK be able to bounce back, or are 303 just going to continue their domination?
What's absolutely massive there was the prediction that came from Triumph. He knows that once an orbital strike goes down and an opponent is inside of it, you immediately reactively pull out your knife. And that was what he was trying to predict. Run immediately onto the outside of the orbital strike and try and catch your opponent while he's switching from his knife to his assault rifle. Definitely really good coming out of Triumph there. Catching player 2 off guard regardless. Player 2 still played a really, really good round, getting 3 kills at the end of it. But they have to start to transfer these kills into round wins.
We are seeing a little bit more of an aggressive stance here, poised by SDK, ready towards that B site. So far, considering it's early on in the match, a great recon bolt. That's going to be Lazita trying to capitalize on that recon bolt. Mugi going to help with that push in. The tag is clean. They will find a beautiful kill here. The spray is clean, and the door is knocked down. 303. They find 2 beautiful kills. Now with a few remaining here for SDK, somehow the shock bolt connects, and it's all up down to Hype Hop, all on his lonesome. Can't get the job done. A flawless round from 303.
I haven't seen so many shock bolts hit players in a match ever. He's gotten 4 kills with them, by the way. That's almost unheard of. My goodness, Lasita. He's popping off on Sova for sure. 16 and 7. He's on the top of the leaderboard. Definitely did not show up in the last game, but he's saying, Mugi, step down. Step down. I'll carry you here in this match.
Yeah. I understand that there are a lot of SDK fans in the chat, but you can't deny 303 are playing the game of a lifetime. The TP here from Hype Hop, he's done this before. He's ready, and he's in position. Stinger and Co means the econ round here. He's getting active. The orbital strike going to help push the favor over into their side. Now that they have control, another dark cover will go down. 303 on the retake. Spike going down. Let's see how they shape up here in one of the last rounds of the first half.
Lucido with the Owl Drone gets onto the site. Hype Hop needs to get out of the smoke so we can see what is going on. Gets on top of the double boxes. Inside of yellow does put down the dark cover, but it's going to be Lucido on the feet of his opponent. Does have the shock bolts available for himself, but it's a little bit of a mountain to climb if you do actually want to win this if you are 303. Mugi onto the site, does have the run it back available. He gets 1, Lasita now with 2, Mugi with 2 as well. That's a complete wipe, CMO, and that's going to be 303 with milliseconds remaining, defusing the spike.
Well, correction, they had 6 whole seconds left to defuse that spike.
Sorry.
And that's really just a testament to how dominating 303 have been in this first half. But saved. There's something that we are forgetting. Now that we're in the second half, things could be completely one-sided in the other direction. We'll see if that's going to be the case, of course. 303 having a very successful defender-sided half. But now the SDK are on the defensive side. Will we see that same level of play? Look at that domination. There's a lot of red on the opposite side. Can we see that same continuation? It's going to be important for them to win this pistol if they want to keep it up. But these pistols, they can get quite crazy.
Definitely can. We saw it in the last game. 303 were down by almost this much, and they were able to come back. So it's literally all up to the early game momentum. If SDK can end up winning this pistol round, it could be massive. And just as I say that, a small caster curse comes through. Hype Hop now with 2. Top Ramen with 1. Lasita over on his own regard. Hype Hop with 3. What is he doing? He's going crazy. Quad. Hype Hop, let's go.
Hype Hop, the man of the hour, finding beautiful, beautiful kills there. Now moving on to that second round. SDK going to play it a little bit safer. as they, or sorry, 303 need to play it a little bit safer. And you can see that they're not really investing into a whole lot. Not a similar force buy to what we saw SDK do in the first half. And obviously it didn't really work out for them. But Spectres across the board, heavy armor. SDK investing quite a lot. And we'll see if 303 are able to get a little bit spicy, you know, take it back. Or are SDK supposed to win a round that they are supposed to win?
All of the questions have to be asked here, Simon. I'm glad you did. But gotta watch out for 303. They've got the pistols. I feel like they've done it before. No, it was Sarah Cameron that did that. They had like full sheriffs and somehow won around. But gotta watch out for 303 as they're right now they're lurking on the outside of B. What are they able to do with this? What is their plan right now? Is B the easiest site to take if you have full pistols? You can sage off the right-hand wall. Exactly what they do. Get onto the site and try and plant the spike for some extra credits.
Yeah, they'll get that spike planted, but it's going to be a tall task for them to turn things back around. Top Ramen on cleanup duty, wipes the floor with the opposition, and there's still not enough left here from Mugi to try to turn things around. The jump shot with the shorty won't be in his favor. And now, 2 quick rounds here for SDK. Still a long way to go if they want to turn things back around, but at least a good start nonetheless. Now 303 have their first full buy. We'll see if they're going to make this a 10-5 and really start their momentum back like they had in that first half. But SDK not really having the exact weaponry to deal with the Vandals that are about to come through. We'll see how they're able to adjust and if their playstyle will be enough to clean up another round.
Player 2 having the Bucky for himself. He sells it, buys a Bulldog. There you go. Spectres for those guys, and this is usually when this round kind of starts, where they have the small like the eco-ish buy. You know, 303 does have full Vandals, Phantoms for themselves. So they're looking inside of Courtyard. That's what a lot of teams do, at least here on Haven, is they take over Courtyard and then decide, do you want to rotate back and go over to A, or do you want to try and take over C or B? See if they can get a pick here. Right now, the Eldron does go ahead and spots out too.
Mugi. Oh, baby. The spray almost connects. Has to back away. Undefined Triumph, even though he was taken super low, finds a frag. A beautiful aftershock. Mugi just gets stuck between a rock and a hard place, and now they will try to rotate back over to A. No one's there on that site. Undefined Triumph holding on the front line. He gets flashed out here, but unfortunately, that flash is not enough, and he might need to put down another smoke to keep things a little bit more competitive. Top Ramen in a very sticky situation here, but finds out that there's a barrier orb, and now the retake begins. Let's see how SDK deal with this.
That was a nice rotation. Immediately go from Courtyard. That doesn't exactly work out for you. Go over back to A when the opponents have rotated off of the site. Let's see if they can actually get into these post-spike planted positions. Now you need to try and transfer. Undefined with 3. Kai ends up finding one more as well. Toro on the spike itself, but it's going to be Kai with 2. Takes out Speens. The attackers, 303, win 1 more.
And at this point, every single round matters. And for 303 to win that is huge. Look at SDK, shorties across the board. That means that odds are 303 win another, and now it's 11-5. And the first competitive match that you have in this second half will be when 303 are 1 round away from map point. And that is scary. That is very, very scary. We'll see how they're able to try to keep things consistent. And for SDK, it has to be an aggressive round. They have to play aggressive since they have nothing to lose on a couple of pistols. But we'll see what they end up doing.
Player 2 has to come up huge with a couple of headshots. If he can do that inside of long C, then he can definitely clutch up the round. Maybe put down a trap? I don't know what he's able to do. The shots go through with the Sheriff. He's not able to one Sheriff. I was going to say like 1D, but it's not in this game. Rotation comes through from 303 as they look over towards A.
We see how it ends up panning out here for the side of SDK. Unfortunately for them, don't have the weaponry to play this time around. And 303 have gathered information. Utility has been spared up in Courtyard. A lot of utility coming out from SDK now. 303 know that they can rotate over easily over to A. No utility around for them. Accidentally flashing themselves, but now Lazita Probably going to be meeting up with the first responder, Hype Hop, who's waiting with the shorty. Not able to connect those shots, but the dots will be connected for 303. Triumph finds one. Top Ramen somehow, some way through the sewers, finding 2 quick kills. Orbital Strike and then stop that push through. Toro finds one. Still a couple more here remain. The spike's been planted. The resurrection is not clean enough. Speeds! He's gonna find 2. But now with the 2v2, the retake is here. Let's see how SDK deal with this.
Ooh, it's going to be Kai with 1 onto top Ramen. Can player 2 clutch up this round? He has a Sheriff. He has a Dream. Inside of Heaven is going to be 1. Can he get the flick? Kai! How did he do it? The flick headshot. Triple kill secured.
If you are an SDK fan, listen, SDK fans, I'm gonna level with you, okay? This is potentially the last full buy SDK have. I need to see the SDK chat explode right now. I need you to give SDK the energy that they need to pull this. Do you want to see SDK in the finals? If that is a resounding yes, then give them your energy in the chat because they need it now more than ever. 303 are dismantling them, but they can stop them here in this round.
11-5. It would be a Malphite to climb. It would be a mountain if you guys don't play League of Legends. To climb. If they were to come back here in this one, jumping across your screen, you're gonna see the enemy Brimstone. Sub-Uwu driver goes down. He did not have his anime energy ready. The orbital strike does go out. The spike itself has been planted. Speeds, there you go now with 2. Picking up, 2 for himself. Top Ramen trying to go for the flank. Knows where one of his opponents are. It's going to be inside of window. Can he land his shots? No. Kai is going to get that kill for himself. There you go. Omen. It's Hype Hop. It's Hype Hop with 2. It's Hype Hop with 3.
Yeah.
Massive for Hype Hop. Defusing the spike at the end of the day.
This is what I'm talking about, baby. Full buy SDK. Come back swinging. And now they'll take 303 down a peg. They still have the economy to play, but maybe not enough to play with the boys in the courtyard. You're seeing a couple of Spectres come through. Or sorry, that is SDK that are still trying to scrounge out a couple of pennies and dimes. 303, their economy's taking down a peg as well. But they still have the economy to play. We'll see what ends up happening. A great round from SDK to stay into things, but they need to keep it up if they want to win over 303.
We've got a lot of players over on 303 Esports with amazing KDAs, but SDK, we've seen it multiple times over and over again here in this tournament. The team that switches on to defense somehow has the advantage, and it's just being super confident on defense. A lot of these teams, even though some maps are attacker-sided maps, it's something about defense, Simo, that it really allows you to get confident.
We're seeing the run it back. It's going to be used. Mugi trying to get a little bit of information. Getting rid of that tripwire is going to be crucial. And now the spy cam as well. And unfortunately not able to find anyone just yet. The spray is good. Getting 1 frag. It's going to be the Hunter's Fury that follows up. Lazita not able to connect with that second kill to follow things up. And now they'll have control of the C site. Something that they haven't had so far this map. And SDK are forced into the retake. Let's see how they handle it.
The spike itself has been planted on the site. 303 need to get the kills.
What?
He wants to scout it out, and he has exited inside of his ultimate. 1 Hype Hop. There you go. Lacita goes down. Speens inside of Garage gets taken down. Toro, massive. 2 more over on the side of SDK. 1 is inside of Long. Gets 1 for himself. Kai with the second. Needs to reload now in a 1v2 situation. Does have the fault line available for himself. Needs to get onto the site. The swing comes through for Kai.
Winnable.
1 more. The 1v1 inside of Wood. Can he look the corner? No, he can't. It's Toro. That brings it to match point.
Oh my goodness. Match point here for 303. And for SDK, the economy's not in the greatest shape. We are going to see probably the force buy. Buying what they can, how they can, when they can. Speed's going to be the only one left out. Unfortunately, has to buy the Stinger. And now or never here for SDK. If they lose, they cannot move on to the final day. But for 303, their record is spiffy clean. They're just sitting at either first or second. So this means so much for SDK. Let's see how they're able to try to dissuade and win over 303. We're about to find out. Hype Pop with a great entry. Gonna open up that round.
Hype Pop. With one. He's able to take one. Where did he get that kill? Oh, he went inside sewers. And he got the opponent that was sitting in garden. That was massive. That was massive for sure. Now with the rotation. Going on to C site. Moogie. Headshot onto Speens is massive. Getting the ultimate orb. Player 2, he hears it, man. Is he going to check his corner? They actually leave it. They leave it and go over to B.
Yeah, we are seeing now that rotation call through, but the rest of SDK, I think they smell that something's up. The jig might be up here. They'll call that rotation as well, and they will call that rotation aggressively. Top Ramen. Can he make the hero play from behind? Player 2 is going to find one. They're caught between a very difficult scenario. Still trying to push in here. Top Ramen going to be the first responder, but they bait it all in. Hype Pop. He's going to find one. Now down to the 2v3. It is now or never. And Top Ramen left in a very tough position. They don't get that rotate through. Almost had the hero play, but the spike goes down to Boo. He's going to find one. Switches over to the Spectre. The Resurrection as well will be called. And now with 3v2, Hype Pop, the hero, is back up to play. Sabu, he's got the swing. Lazita gets punished. And now all up to Moogie. Can he get it? He's going to find one. He needs to stop this push through if he wants to clutch the round. The swing around the Buru, that's going to be one. The jump around, the swing. It is Top Ramen. The hero play is good, and they stay alive for another round.
If SDK come back, it's all thanks to Top Ramen. Oh my goodness. Clutching up the round. Was that the exploding I don't think that was the exploding corgi. But still. Take a breath, everyone. Take a breath. This is an interesting one. We're coming back. I don't know what it is about Risen, man, but these guys, they got the best teams in the best tournaments. Because every single round that you watch, it gets close, man. It gets really close.
Yes, this should do.
They're trying to keep that dream alive. But there's no doubt the 303 are playing well. That's definitely the case here. But SDK have a lot to prove. If they want to be in the grand finals, if they want to compete in the playoff bracket, they need to show it here now. We are seeing, the engage here come through. The spray down is good. Sabu, the Top Ramen on Janitor. They clean things up. 3 kills with the trade over to 1. 1 more remains. They're going to push in aggressively on the other side. It's Lazita. 1 kill will come through, but it's Sabu Driver on the board with 3 beautiful kills. And now 12-8, moving on to the next round.
It's you guys in the chat that are spamming SDK that are allowing them to stay here in this tournament. They know it. They know it too. They have smiles on their faces for sure. And since they have 1-2, it immediately means that they have hope. The only problem that they face is that 3 of them have Bulldogs. Bulldog is a good weapon. It's a good weapon. But it's not as good as a Vandal, and that's what 303 have the advantage so far.
Oh, I'm really happy to see that at least both these teams are playing super well. Already though, Toro, a great entry onto C. We'll see that rotation here called from SDK, and Hype Pop getting a little bit of information, gets denied that teleport over. And at least they'll know that maybe they're still hovering around C. But that indecisiveness may cost them. Still trying to decide who's going to defend what site. With a member down, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Now, 303. Poised and ready. Let's see what site they decide to go to.
5 members of 303 Esports are looking inside of mid. Oh, orbital strike inside of garage window. It did kind of catch Toro off guard inside of long C2. Speens goes for the long push. Well, the run it back has been activated. Moogie on the site itself needs to get in. Does end up going to very low HP because he did flash himself. He gets behind cover and he does do a little bit of damage. It's going to be Top Ramen though. Hype Pop behind him. He immediately looked for the flex. Ended up getting one. That was massive. Just pixels is all you need. Playing Rainbow Six, ladies and gentlemen. Kai takes down High Pop's sub Ubu driver. Is that it? Did 303 defend? No, they were attacking. They're attacking. All right, it's a late night. SDK, take another round. Okay.
Okay, it's 12-9. For those of you that are non-believers, the sermon is in session. SDK, the power of the fandom is coming alive. We're witnessing it here. The dream has become reality. The nightmare is no longer something you're afraid of. SDK, they are addressing their demons. In 303, they had a good thing going, but SDK are here to say, get the hell out of my lobby, kid. And I'll see you in the grand finals. They're doing a great job trying to keep things alive. 303 just need one round. Let's see if they're able to do that here. They don't really have the economy to play, and SDK, they're ready to defend yet another round to keep it alive.
It's a rush through mid that is going through. Hunter's Fury through the wall. Can he find the outlines available? He saw the Sage. He actually tagged him twice, I believe. Didn't end up going down because the heal came through. Mugi is going to potentially 1v1, but the Aftershock does come through the wall. He wants to try and get out. Maybe try and 1v1 some of these opponents that are behind. Sage is right behind there. Curveball goes out. She's blind.
Good.
It's a 1-for-1.
Oh, the trade. But now, oh my god, Mugi finds High Pop. It's all starting to fall apart. SDK are down to 3 members. It's a 3v3. The spike's been planted here. And Neural Theft gonna give a lot of information. They are already on that site. The post-plant position is good, but they will move again to a new position. Now SDK got the tall task of getting onto that site. Mugi teases a little bit of a pixel. The pre-fire around the corner. The headshot's good. Top Ramen pays the price. And now Toro finds one. Toro finds 2. And 303 win the game. Unfortunately, SDK fans, they have to take a seat. They have to feel unfortunately bad about that loss. But for the side of 303, if there are any 303 fans in the chat, I'm sure there might be a few. They can be happy. They will definitely move on. But let's have a look at the scoreboard just to see how our teams really fought it out on this map.
My goodness, look at the top leaderboards. We haven't seen a leaderboard this close in such a long time. 24 kills, Mugi. High Pop, 23. 23 for Lucida. Top Ramen, 20. All of these guys in the 20s, and it's looking like green and red all across the scoreboard. It's so great. Oh, what a match. That was insane.
Yeah, like, and I just, let's have a quick look at the timeline. Like, just to see, not really any particular round, but it's just green, red, green, red. Like you said, a Christmas tree. So back and forth between these two teams. And I have to say, SDK fans, while not, able to cheer their team on in the playoffs, can be happy about their performance and how the team fought valiantly, did not back down, fought tooth and nail round after round. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. 303 come out on top. They are the victor. And they've been the victor for quite some time. This is a 5-1 record in comparison to Powerhouse's 6-0 record. I think we've got two teams that are clear favorites moving on into the playlists. The playoffs. I want to ask our producer, I'm going to buzz him into New York. Can we have a look at the updated groups? Just want to see. Yes or no is all I need. Oh, baby, yes! Love it. Yes! Okay, now, let's dissect this before we close it out. Okay, let's just dissect this. Orbital Takeover, our personal hometown heroes, they move on, okay? They move on. Powerhouse, of course they move on. They scared the other team so hard, first Gen G just randomly forfeited. Powerhouse are that scary, okay? Moving on to the other group, it hasn't been updated yet, but I will tell you that Sarah Cameron will move on and 303 will move on. SDK, of course, they needed to win to move on. So 303 and Sarah Cameron, they will be the ones that kind of contend for the top spot. So what does that mean? Semis, Group A first, Powerhouse up against 303. Oh my God, that's going to be so good. Semis 2, it's going to be Sarah Cameron versus Orbital Takeover. And so let's talk a little bit about those matchups. We saw those two teams kind of duke it out already. What are some of your predictions moving into the final day of the Risen Esports Invitational?
So, yeah, I'm really excited to cast this tomorrow. This is going to be super awesome. Powerhouse versus 303. I'm sad you're not casting it with me, but Powerhouse versus 303 is going to be an awesome, awesome match. We have a massive storyline for that too. 303 able to come back versus Sarah Cameron in their match, 8-4 at the half. And now are 5-1 in their group. Powerhouse 6-0 at the end of the day. That's going to be an awesome, awesome match. Orbital Takeover versus Sarah Cameron. I don't know why. I feel like Orbital is just going to kind of take that game, and we're going to see an Orbital versus Powerhouse final. That's my prediction.
And to be quite honest, I think Sarah Cameron still have the potential to take down Orbital. They've got these X factors
Agreed.
in external, but considering the record, Orbital on paper do win that semifinal match. I am excited to see how Powerhouse do take up against 303. I do think that Powerhouse, in my opinion, of course, like you said, I'm not going to be casting with you guys, unfortunately, tomorrow. But I think Powerhouse win the tournament. That is my prediction. I'm locking it in. Big fan of Flair. Just an absolute disgusting Phoenix. Making it look easy. Actually makes me want to play Phoenix. But I just think Powerhouse, they're going to crush it. And I'm also a part of the low gang, okay? I'm a part of the low gang, okay? There's no way that Powerhouse do not take the tournament. Even though Hometown Heroes Orbital, I'm a big fan of them too. I just think Powerhouse are way too strong, and we saw them dismantle Orbital 2 days in a row. You had a day to reset Orbital, and you still weren't able to close it out.
Listen, I want to give big shout outs here on the stream because the chat was blowing up. It's always great as a caster when you see the chat just go crazy because you kind of have your fuel that's being fueled, just by the chat. So I just want to thank all you guys for sure because you guys were amazing. Thank you so much to our production. My goodness, Impulse, Yeti, and Preston, you guys, best in the amateur scene by far. You guys are insane at production. And we saw some crazy camera angles. We saw some crazy replays in between games. And yeah, you guys blow my mind every single
And the Corgi
time
cam. We can't forget.
Oh, and the Corgi cam.
We can't forget the Corgi cam. The Corgi
Yeah.
cam. Of course, I won't be joining you guys tomorrow on the desk. You and Charmer will take us away on the playoffs. Hopefully you enjoyed my casting. Hopefully you enjoyed Saved as well. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Simo is taken is my Twitter, and Saved Casting will be my counterpart as well. Thank you again to production. And as well, thank you to Dot Pro for helping us put this tournament together as we close out the night tonight. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I hope your next Valorant game goes as well as I hope it does. GG, everyone. Have a good night.
So far away.
She's so far away.
Hanging by a thread, hung upon all the words you said. Breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope.